Hi, and welcome to On the Shelves at ACPL. Today we are going to be looking at some read aloud books. And by that, I mean books that are great to read with your kids or to your kids, especially older kids. I think a lot of parents read when we have babies, toddlers, preschoolers. We read lots of picture books. And kids get really excited about hearing stories. But when they start to read on their own, sometimes we stop reading with them. But the joy of continuing to read to a child, not only do you get to sit with them and maybe snuggle with them, spend some time discussing the book, but you also help them with their reading comprehension because they are just focused on listening and can hear what certain words sound like out loud. So let's get started with some great read aloud books. My first choice is The World According to Humphrey by Betty G. Birney. The story is about a hamster who is a classroom pet. The teacher whose class he lived in ends up having to leave, and he gets a new owner for the year. And she at first is not very excited about having a hamster in her room. But Humphrey learns along with the kids. He escapes at night and gets up to some mischief. So it is a book that all ages will enjoy listening to. My next choice is Word of Mouse by James Patterson and Chris Grabenstein. If you know me personally, you know how much I love this book. So even if you're not a James Patterson fan, you really might enjoy this book. It is about a mouse who is part of a science lab. He is an experiment mouse, and he has 100 plus brothers and sisters, and he is dyed blue. All of them try to escape. Isaiah is the only one who actually gets out. And then he has great adventures in the world and eventually tries to go back and save his brothers and sisters from the lab and the scientists. This is a great book to discuss the topic of animal cruelty and how we treat our world and the environment and the creatures in our world, but it also can be a great discussion of just how we treat others in general, how to be a good friend, and how to make sure that we realize how our actions affect others. The next book is The Parker Inheritance by Varian Johnson. Candace and her family are going through some upheaval. Her parents are separated, and she and her mother end up moving back into the family home in South Carolina for the summer. Candace meets Brandon, who lives across the street, and the two of them get involved in a mystery of what happened to a woman who lived in this town years and years ago. Their grandmother tried to solve the mystery and find out what happened and got herself into some trouble in the town. But Candace and Brandon think they can solve the mystery. And this talks about racism in a way that is accessible for younger children. This would be a great book to read and discuss racism both in the past and what your child sees now at school or on TV or out in the world. Our next book is Rusha and the End of Time. It is by Roshani Chokshi. Aru grows up in a museum where her mother is one of the curators. She is dared by some of her classmates who don't really believe her to light a lamp that supposedly brings back an evil spirit. It's cursed. So she lights it, of course, and the evil spirit, the sleeper, comes back into the world. The only thing that can combat this evil spirit are the reincarnation of the Pandava brothers. This is a book about Hindu mythology, and Aru finds out that she is one of the reincarnations and goes around and collects some other ladies who also are the reincarnation of these Pandava brothers. They are given special talents and gifts by the Hindu gods. So if you have a child who might be interested in learning about Hindu mythology and the Hindu religion, this is a great way to introduce it, and it's a wonderful rip-roaring story as well. It is the first of the series. 3 have been written. I know at least one more is coming, so it is a great series to start. The next is The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. This is the story of several orphans who are exceptional, each in their own way. They find a newspaper ad that is looking for exceptional children. They apply, and they all are, they're the 4 that are selected to be part of this mysterious Benedict Society. And Mr. Benedict has a mission that only these orphan children can do. And I loved this book. It is the first of a series. Again, I believe there are 4 books in the series, and they are, as you can see, they're pretty thick books. So this is a great story to read with your child or to your child so that they can really enjoy the story and not get bogged down in, oh my goodness, how many pages are in this book. So those are my picks for great read aloud books. I did not include some classics, Beverly Cleary's books, the Chronicles of Narnia, Harry Potter even, but those would also be great books to pick. So, as always, if you find a book you would like on here, you may put it on hold by going to our catalog at alamancelibraries.org, or you can call any of our branches and we can help you put it on hold. We'll see you next time on the shelves at ACPL.